Good morning, good morning. Hope you're going well. So we're on to Friday. Happy Friday. The news has been kind of making the markets a little bit haywire, unpredictable. So things aren't setting up very nicely for us. There's a few things to keep an eye out for today. Remember, of course, the big news tonight. So I recommend not being opening positions usually 2 hours before the big non-farm payroll news comes out, because the market just dries up, liquidity dries up, stops behaving itself, goes a bit unpredictable. So just keep that in mind. Apart from that, there's a few things worth keeping an eye on. Keep an eye on the markets, always good. Keep our eyes well trained. And hopefully we'll get a much cleaner run next week when the news gets absorbed and the markets settle down. But what do we have for today then? So we've got Aussie. Start with Aussie CAD. Aussie CAD, start on the daily. Not the best of price action, but we've had a very strong one up. Is there any MACD divergence here? Yes, there is. But let's zoom in. See it's a lot lower on this recent high. It's quite a big distance, so I'm not sure how much weight we can really put in that. We've had it looks like an ABC correction, going to pull back towards the daily 50, maybe. Let's see what the hourly chart gives us. Well, it's got some work to do. For the CBO, looks the 1 hour 50 is kind of catching up. It's looking good, but we need to break down lower first, down to about here somewhere, or a little bit lower at least, and then pull back. So yeah, keep an eye on it, but it's got a lot of work to do, so we'll see how that one actually sets up. And there'll be obviously a CBO with the 1 hour 50 and the 4 hour 50 being retested. Okay, next one is Swiss yen. So with Swiss yen, we've got lots of yen pairs going short. Yen's got some strength, and Swiss yen is one of them. And it's been in a range, so it doesn't look very good on the daily, but we've had a doji candle yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and a bearish day yesterday. So it looks like we might be going short. On the hourly chart, we have what's lining up to be a very nice CBO. The fib works out well, 1 hour 50 catching up with the 4 hour 50 and the retest. I don't know, 4 or 5 hours maybe. And it also lines up with the daily pivot, so it could also be a pip snatcher short as well. So that's the good thing. The data setup itself looks really nice. The drawback is this sideways action. So I'll put it on secondary as well. Let's look at another one. Next one is Euro Yen. So another yen pair. This is a much stronger downward run yesterday, or downward day. This has been trying to break the daily 50 for many days. Hasn't done it, and then breaks down yesterday. So it's looking bearish today. We've had a good breakdown. We want this to pull back now towards the daily pivot, which is where the 382 also lines up from this fib for yesterday, the run from yesterday. 1 hour 50 catching up, and the 4 hour 50 not too far behind. So and the daily 20 is in there as well. So it's lining up very nicely. If that pulls back in the next, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 hours, maybe even by the time the UK opens, then that could be a good setup. And a run down to where? Well, we've got some distance to go. I think the safe bet to be being an NFP Friday, just go down to towards these lows here, which is your daily pivot S1. And so up to here, retest this, and that'll be a profit target, and there's even 2% there. So that could be a nice one, looking good. Pound Aussie. So Pound Aussie is looking bearish, but it seems to be decelerating. So what do we have on our daily chart? On our hourly chart? Let's have a look. Well, the MACD hasn't got a divergence as such, although you can definitely see it slowing down. This last trough, the last low, is not that far below the previous low, which was a fair bit below the low before that on the MACD. Whereas on the price action, we can see it's pretty much a straight line. Even this is even a lower low. So although the MACD is not broken as such, it's suggesting that it's running out of steam. So although we could be trading a pip snatcher here, the 1 hour 50 is a long way behind. So by the time that catches up, this needs to break lower first. I don't think that's going to work out. I think that's going to be keep an eye on it, but not looking very nice. Next one, pound CAD. So we've broken through this long trend line, and it's now broken through the daily 50. What's the MACD looking like? Yeah, MACD is looking pretty bearish. Looking for a short day today. And the best thing here would be, this is due to the pound weakness across most of the pound pairs. So best thing is a pip snatcher. We've missed the ACBB. As you got that yesterday, that'd be a nice trade short. But putting back towards the daily pivot, 1 hour 50 catching up. We need some time for the 1 hour 50 to catch up. We've got another 8 hours before UK Open, so that should be enough time for that just to come down towards the daily pivot and give us an entry and a quick 1-to-1 pip snatcher. The daily 50 is here as well. You can just see that dark green line just around the pivot, so that shouldn't be a problem. Could set up for a quick pip snatcher short. Pound yen. Now we've got the yen strength and the pound weakness. So we have a very bearish day yesterday. Looking for that to continue today. And again, pip snatcher seems to be the best option, or is the only option. But the 1 hour 50 is a long way behind. We've got a long time for that to catch up. So we've got to keep an eye on that. But it looks like around 1 hour 50 is too far. We may pull back here in the next 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. 1 hour 50 will be down here. We'll just get a quick wick up, touch it, and then break down. MACD is looking really good, really strong run, that last one. So that's looking pretty nice if it sets up. Pound Kiwi, another pound pair. Again, we've got a bearish action, which looks pretty good, breaking away from all this. It's been drifting down slowly, but it's finally got a couple of good bearish days with the pound weakness. Looking for a pip snatcher again, but the 1 hour 50 is again a long way behind, so it's got a long way to catch up. The MACD is looking okay, although it does seem to be losing momentum. So I won't be surprised if we do see this kind of pull back up to the hourly 50, break down towards the pivot, and then break higher. So a bit of a mixed bias across the pound pairs. Let's see how they play out. Pound dollar. A very bearish day yesterday, but we have this strong trend line to consider. Seems to be in play. We've only had really 1, 2, 3 big touches. This is the 4th. Is that going to be an issue? We have to wait and see, but something to consider. And what we have here is a nice break below the hourly 50 and 4 hour 50, putting back up here towards the daily pivot 382. So we could trade this as a CBO or a pip snatcher short. Both very similar. Pip snatcher is a quick 1-to-1, might be good for an FP Friday. But if you want to push it a bit further, you can push it down to daily 50, or maybe even just down to here, which is the daily pivot S1, which will also be forming some kind of support to break through as well. That might be the safest option. Still off in 2% there, so it's still looking pretty good. CBO 1 hour 50 is before it's still a fair way behind the 0.5, but before the 618 by the time it gets down here. So you could probably safely put your stop behind. I would suggest the R1. So you've got a bit of room after the 618 in case it wicks through the 4 hour 50 and before it carries on going short. Should it break up towards the 4 hour 50. So pound dollar, possible. Kiwi yen, another yen pair. yen strength, Kiwi's bit of weakness as well. Big bearish day yesterday, breaking down. What do we have? Now, if we ignore this trend line, got a breakdown from the daily 50 pretty much, breaking through the 4-hour 50, 1-hour 50. Probably the best thing would be a pip snatcher here. ACBB you could have, but pip snatcher looks pretty enticing, pretty 1-to-1. Probably good for NFP Friday. And that trend line I had in there, which I've deleted, is that an issue? Can you see it clearly from here? Not so obvious now I've deleted it, is it? Maybe across here somewhere. I think it was. This was the trend line. It looks like it was around here somewhere. And there maybe. Then it's we need to break above through the trend line and then back down below it again. So it's not really that clear, that trend line. Maybe I was just look good when it was there, but it's not that obvious now, is it? So that's it. There's two more quickly, which may play out a bit later on in the day. Not setting up quite yet. Aussie Kiwi, we're hitting this SR level here, which is rejecting again. Maybe we're going to get a bit bearish action to continue, but for that to happen, we need to break down below the 4-hour 50. Had you got in the IBO, that'd be a nice little short, and you'd be looking reasonably good by now. We just break down below the 4-hour 50, coming back up, retest the 4-hour 50, the 1-hour 50 catching up. That could be a nice little CBO, maybe today, but maybe not. See how that plays out. You're okay. The last one, again, double top, triple top. Bearish action, not the greatest of price action, worthy of mention. Computers seized that. Come on. Again, we need this to break down here somewhere before it pulls back. It's because of the fib. If you did the fib from these highs here, yeah, that's not really, I don't know, it's not really a great fib. And there's always a risk it'll pull back to the daily pivot anyway, just a quick recap. So I think the regional fib's better, so it needs to pull down lower before it pulls back. So a lot of work to do there. So there we go. There's some sort of power cut thing going on there. You're still with me? And the camera. Oh. Starting up again. Camera's decided not to work. Okay, never mind. Right, good. I hope you get some luck today. Be careful with the news. Play it safe. Only go for the best setups, because it's NFP day, and who knows what's going to happen. It could just be a bit of a dull, unexciting day. Just a few things there to keep an eye on. I wish you all the best in the markets. Have a great weekend. I will see you on Monday. Okay, have a great weekend. See you soon. Bye-bye.